Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time and depending when you're going to be seeing this video. It's your brother, your boy, courserepscorner. Like I always tell you guys, it's my corner, it's your corner, and it's our corner.
I don't wanna fall in love. I just wanna have some fun, yeah. I don't wanna fall in love.
The Federal Republic of Nigeria just held our elections few months ago, and that saw the president-elect, as alleged, because I'll see the word as alleged, by INEC, BOLA AHMED TINUBU as the winner of that election, of which we all as Nigerians and the international body saw and knew what happened that particular day. May 29th will be the day they are going to inaugurate him. Today, as I'm doing this video, this is on the first day of May, and we have barely 28 days before his inauguration. In as much as that is possible, the elections petitions tribunal I heard will start, I think, as from 10th minus 29. That means we are left with 19 days. And we know the court system in Nigeria that yes, 19 days will not be enough. That's 2 weeks. Let's say 2 weeks will not be enough to judge a case and give its verdict. Oh God, very, very funny. The country called Nigeria. But in all this dramatic situation, in all these positions that we find ourselves, in all these situationship or patternship or selectionship, let me use the word we have found ourselves, only two persons can stop President-elect BOLA AHMED TINUBU'S inauguration on May 29th. Only two persons. If those two persons does not give their consent to stopping it, nobody can stop it again. Only two persons, and that's what I've come to share with us. Those two persons that is able, that can, and that has the right to stop President-elect BOLA AHMED TINUBU from being inaugurated into the office of the presidency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria come May 29th, 2023. That's what I've come to share with us. Having said, I want to thank all of us for always watching my videos. I see your love. I don't take it for granted. For those of us who will be seeing my video for the very first time, please subscribe to our channel, like, comment, and share so that we can move the means to a permanent site, okay? Till I come your way next time, till you see me your screen, guys, I leave us with these two videos that shows us the only two persons, I quote, only two persons that can stop the inauguration of President-elect BOLA AHMED TINUBU come May 29th, 2023.
May 29, 2023 is around the corner. And for many of us, like Ulisa Bakoba, who believe strongly that the 2023 presidential election petition should be concluded before the handover date of May 29. This date approaches with a lot of concerns in our heart, and it leaves people like us wondering, what are the possible things that can be done to stop the inauguration of BOLA AHMED TINUBU of the APC on May 29th? What can be done to stop him? Who can stop him? Particularly considering the fact that Peter Obi has a very, very strong case at the elections petitions tribunal to stop him. And many people perceive that if Tinubu is sworn in on May 29th, then he would probably have the reins of power to influence the decision of the tribunal. That's what many people believe. And that's why it becomes increasingly important to consider, can Tinubu's inauguration be stopped? If yes, by who? Right now, the petition of Peter Obi is at the tribunal. And because the case is very strong, people are pushing for the fact that the tribunal should speed up action so that they can conclude before the May 29th inauguration date or the May 29th handover date in Nigeria. Now, let's look at some scenarios. Do you think that the presidential elections petitions tribunal can finish the case before May 29th? It doesn't look like that. It's not likely, because right now we're just about 30 days to May 29th, and the Presidential Elections Petitions Court is just at the pre-hearing stage. Peter Obi submitted his response to the preliminary objections of Tinubu and INEC just 2 days ago, and that gives the Presidential Tribunal 14 days to carry out its pre-hearing. Pre-hearing is where things are finalized, dates are fixed for the main hearing proper. It's also this pre-hearing period that the judges will be appointed. We heard yesterday or day before yesterday that the judges, the 5-man judges for the presidential elections petitions, have been chosen, and so they will now decide the date during this pre-hearing period. And of course, we're told that the president of the appeal court, who happens to be a woman, is the head of that presidential elections petitions tribunal or petitions court, PEPC I like to call it. All of this pre-hearing stage is ongoing, but how likely is it that the petitions tribunal, the elections petitions tribunal, will conclude before May 29th? It is highly unlikely, like I said, because 14 days from now will just be like the middle, or just about 10th to 14th or 10th to 15th of May, and that leaves about 2 weeks to May 29th, which means that all of the 4 grounds on which Peter Obi is contesting the outcome of the February 25, 2023 elections, all the 4 grounds have to be concluded in 2 weeks, and that is closer to impossible than being practicable. Now, let's even assume, for the sake of argument, that the petitions are concluded in that 2 weeks and a judgment is made in favor of Peter Obi. That is not the end of the matter. That still cannot stop the inauguration of May 29, the inauguration of the swearing in of Tinubu as president of Nigeria. It will stop it, because if a verdict is given by the tribunal, APC and Tinubu still have the chance to appeal, and that is another 30 days to the appeal court. Now, from the appeal court, once a decision is also reached and it's not in favor of Tinubu and the APC, they still have a chance to appeal to the Supreme Court, which will take another 30 days. So, assuming that the elections petitions tribunal is able to finish their case before May 29th, the appeal process will still extend it for at least another 2 months, which defeats the purpose of having the tribunal as a potential avenue to stop the inauguration of Tinubu as president of Nigeria. Now, if the tribunal cannot stop Tinubu being sworn in as president of Nigeria, what or who can stop the inauguration of Tinubu? Because right now, many of the supporters, many well-meaning Nigerians are not too happy. I am not too happy that despite the very strong case that Peter Obi has, Tinubu is still going to be sworn in. I'm not too happy. So, what can we do? Who do we look up to? There are only 2 persons that can stop the inauguration of Tinubu. Only 2 persons. There are prophecies right now. Prophecies from men of God that say that Tinubu will not be sworn in. The prophecy is the thin thread upon which the hopes of many Nigerians are hanging, as far as not swearing in Tinubu on May 29th is concerned. If that fails, because many prophecies seem to have failed concerning this 2023 election, if that prophecy fails, who else do we look up to? Can we protest to stop the inauguration of Tinubu on May 29th? Can a protest stop it? Any protest to stop the inauguration will be read very quickly by the government officials or the government forces as treason, because it will seem to be contrary to the Constitution of Nigeria, which prescribes the procedure for inauguration. Yes, protests can be made on the rigging that took place during the February 25, 2023 elections, but a protest to stop the inauguration, particularly some are talking about protests at Eagle Square to stop it, that the inauguration will not hold. I do not think that any protest can stop it from holding, except that such protesters will have some serious ammunition. Serious ammunition. And of course, if they do have such serious ammunition, then we're talking about another civil war, because the government forces will simply not take it lying down. And personally, I don't think I want us to go through another civil war. There are options through which we can achieve our goals, and violent protests definitely is not one of them. So violent protests cannot stop the inauguration of Tinubu. Let's be honest. Only two persons can stop the inauguration of Tinubu right now. Interim government cannot happen without those two persons. No protest, no amount of cause, no speech that is made by anybody can bring about interim government, because only two persons can bring about interim government, and those are the two persons that can stop Tinubu's inauguration. Number one is God Almighty. God Almighty. Only God can stop Tinubu's inauguration right now. Only God. And number two is President Muhammadu Buhari. The God factor, we can only hope. But as far as President Muhammadu Buhari is concerned, I don't think his body language suggests that he's going to arrest Tinubu on the morning of the inauguration, as the prophecies suggest. Which means that right now, we're probably stuck with a Tinubu inauguration, which makes me very, very unhappy and very, very sad. So you tell me, what can stop the inauguration of Tinubu?